Oh, hello. I didn't see you there, Internet. Welcome to Updated Autopsy Report, a podcast from Yotsuben and Friends where we replay the entire Ace Attorney series with longtime fans and newcomers. I'm your host, Ben, and with me today is Dessy.
Hello.
And two good friends of ours, Tiago.
Yeah.
And Rose.
Hi.
Dessy and I are the longtime fans, and Rose and Tiago are the newcomers. We hope that through both of our perspectives as we play through the series, it'll reveal new details and provide interesting commentary for a series near and dear to us. Today, we have all played through chapters 5, 6, and 7 of Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. This is a slightly unique section in that it is all investigation, all puzzles, all walking around the town and the surrounding forest. So without any further ado, I will get into the summary. After the apparent death of Maya last time, the remaining crew of Phoenix, Luke, and Espella escape from the center of the village and flee into the woods. There, they bump into Barnum, who has his sense of justice shaken by what has just happened and by Phoenix's anger over the incident. Barnum, however, allows them to flee and points them to Rouge's tavern, where the crew rests and mourns. We get a brief cutaway, seeing some unrest between the storyteller and Darklaw, as well as Barnum sneaking about to spy on the two. The next day, Luke and Phoenix begin investigating around town and encounter an explosion in the marketplace. Upon getting closer, they find a small bell on the ground and then proceed to bump into none other than Kira, the witch burned to death at the first trial. They attempt to question her, but she vanished into thin air, leaving them with only one conclusion. If she was still alive, then Maya could be too. They race to the fire pit in the courtroom and quickly climb down into the currently dormant hole to see where it leads, and an open hidden passage is found underneath. Meanwhile, we cut to Maya, now being chased by hooded figures in a forest, and when they've almost caught her, Layton appears, rescuing her. The two then investigate the woods and find many hooded people in gas masks calling themselves Shades. They claim to serve the Great Witch, and upon completing tasks that she assigns them, they say that they'll be allowed to return to the town of Labyrinthia. Layton and Maya then go to visit this Great Witch, but find her abode empty, aside from Barnum, who has also been investigating what's going on out in the forest. Barnum bails, saying he has other matters to attend to, leaving Layton and Maya to discover a secret passage in the Great Witch's house. It leads to an ancient passageway, and the Great Witch's voice then speaks to them from above, informing the two that she is not Bezella, but that the Shades call her the Great Witch for other reasons that she won't disclose right now. But she prods them onward and tells them to investigate the rest of the ruins so that they can see the truth for themselves. Phoenix, Luke, and Espella, having made their way through the fire pit entrance, through the woods, and now into the secret passage, finally bump into Layton and Maya. After a happy reunion of the party, they finish investigating the ruins, which reveals the existence of the Bell of Ruin, which was supposedly rung in the past, unleashing a demon and the fire that once destroyed Labyrinthia. Espella, upon hearing this tale, goes into a trance and runs from the group in a rush, leaving them unable to track her. With no other leads, Phoenix, Layton, Maya, and Luke return to the town and find the end of the story already in motion. The storyteller is standing in front of the mysterious bell tower, and Espella, standing upon it, casts a fiery dragon summoning spell that incinerates him and his cart, reducing them to carbon. Espella, still in her trance-like state, is promptly arrested and told that she'll go on trial this very night, and that Darklaw will be the prosecutor this time. Barnum finally confronts her and says that he is certain that she's the Great Witch leading the Shades out in the forest, but without evidence, she simply laughs, accuses him of treason, and strips him of his badge. Agreeing that they have very little time left, Phoenix and Maya begin to investigate the crime scene, and Layton and Luke follow the little puppy Constantine into the storyteller's chambers, all hoping to find the last clues that they need before the final, terrible witch trial. So, again, every time I try to shorten these summaries, so much happens in these chapters.
So much is going on, everybody. What the fuck?
So, like, we're, if I recall correctly, the way that we were playing this is that there was a guide of some sort that, like, this was the easiest way to chop it up into digestible chunks. Is that correct?
Yes. We did a little bit of research online before the game came out and tried to refresh our memory about how best chapters line up. And the
Mhm.
simple fact of the matter is, next time we're going to play chapters 8, 9, and the epilogue. And 8 and 9 and the epilogue are all part of one big trial, right? It's
Okay.
just it's too big to like have the trial on the end here as well, right? We'd be going over too much. So yes, I know our habit is usually to try to include an investigation and a courtroom phase, but here that was just simply not feasible.
Yeah.
So we are all investigation this time around.
It makes sense because this is going to be the big old trial.
Yes.
That's the final how do you do with the because if Dark Law is going to be the Inquisitor that we are facing in the law, because it's not going to be my guy Zacharias Barnum.
Yeah.
So much fucking shit happens, right?
Yeah. What did you think of all the goofiness going on here? Because we get like the big kind of reveal is that the people who are going into the fire pit are not actually dying. They're getting shuttled away to become a shade out in the woods, and
They look like
they
Final
claim
Fantasy enemies. So now we got
they do.
now we got Muppets,
They're-
we got Phoenix
they-
Wright characters, we got Fire Emblem characters, and now we have Final Fantasy basic enemies.
And they're like gas masks that they're wearing to hide their face are like made to look like they're made out of wood.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think that's realistic at all for actually
No.
preventing any materials getting into your lungs, but they try to make them look a little retro. They claim that the Great Witch gives them tasks, and if they complete all their tasks, then they can go back to the town. Is that true? We've seen Kira return to the town once to apparently set off an explosion.
Yeah.
But she also seemed to be kind of
no purpose
trance-like
so far,
Yes.
other than to get us to be like,
What's that?
what's that? Like literally just a plot device.
I have to think that like Kira somehow broke her programming. So like we all kind of agree at this point that we are being Truman showed here.
Yeah.
We always kind of knew, right? But like the extent of like how in on it are the other people seem to be kind of not clear yet. Like we don't know how deep does Patty know that this is all a show, or is she
Right.
also being Truman showed? So like
I think most of us are being Truman showed. Obviously, as I said, Dark Law knows because she's
Dark
been
Law-
outside of the movie set.
Dark Law is objectively the Great Witch with the big ol' eyeball, right? Like we all know that.
Mhm.
Okay, because like it really did not click with me until like literally the section where Zacharias confronts her that she has the same fucking sharp ass glove as the witch. And I
Wow.
was like, wow, that's a visual indicator. I guess I know who it is now.
They sure indicated that.
They sure indicated that. So it's very funny to see like Nick mourning, and then NPCs goes, Nick, you have to be strong because you're around two children and they don't know what the fuck to do, so you got to be the adult here. And Nick is like, I'm trying. It's so hard.
Why my friend just died?
Yeah, it's really funny because we briefly get this moment where Phoenix confronts Barnum in the forest, right? Right at
Yeah.
the start of chapter 5 as they're running away. And Barnum's like, wow, it was really tragic what happened. Kind of crazy that Maya just jumped into that, cart into the
The Iron
cage and
Maiden.
the Iron Maiden and fell down in there. I mean, it's real sad, but what could have been done? And Phoenix is like, what the fuck? A girl just died, and that's all you have to say? And he's got like unique animations for getting really angry, like he's about to punch Barnum.
That would've
That's
been
kind of fun.
sick.
Actually
Kill
getting
him.
Yeah, Barnum.
seeing Phoenix get to actually like, have an emotional
Phoenix Wright
reaction to
violent
something.
outburst attack.
I stand behind him.
Yeah.
So
Let Phoenix finally commit acts of violence.
So we have to like discuss this because me and Rose were actually like talking about this the other day, and by the other day I mean like yesterday. Phoenix, Maya, and no, Maya's dead at this point. Phoenix, Espella, and Luke go to Rouge's tavern because that's where Zacharias Barnum gets sent. And Rouge, obviously a baddie, but why is there just a pirate in this medieval town?
She is the most human-looking Muppet so far.
Yes.
I thought that was Professor Layton, but now it's her. She's the most human. I think that she is part puppet, part human.
We're getting into like the
Yeah.
the biology of Muppet ancestry.
It's like half elves in D&D.
Yeah,
I think she's half
like
Muppet. I think
elf.
she's half human. I think Zach is her brother because they have the same hair color.
What?
Yeah, I think that's. I think
Shut
that
up.
actually is. I think that's actually kind of implied in the dialogue because Phoenix is like, "How do you know this person?" And he's like, "Don't worry about it."
Yeah,
And
I'm
I'm
pretty
like,
sure that's it. So
Yeah,
they're
I think
half
it's kind of.
siblings.
Yeah, I don't think it's
whatever.
ever like explicitly said, if I recall correctly, but I think it's implied, right?
What-
that
what-
they're related in some way.
What did you say, Rose? That really fucking caught me off guard. Like, her father is a Muppet and the mother is a human. Like,
Yeah.
that
I
imagery
think
really
that might
fucking
have
got
been
me
it.
for
And
Captain
Barnum
Rouge.
just got lucky that in that he got all the human genes, the Fire Emblem genes.
Fire
Yeah,
Emblem.
where she's
God.
like, because she looks like almost like a proper anime character, but just like a little too puppety. She's like the exact like half and half mix, and it's really
Right.
weird. That being said, I did think she was very cute.
She was very cute.
Thanks for letting us stay in your tavern, ma'am.
What happens is that, like, so they let him sleep upstairs, and Phoenix in the middle of the night goes, I can't sleep because my friend died. I will go downstairs and get a glass of
A
water.
glass of water.
And Rouge is down there going, like, what's drowned your sorrows, friend? And he's like, yeah, I do gotta drown my sorrows. And she's like, man the fuck up. You got 2 kids.
And then she's like, do this puzzle for me, and if you complete this puzzle, all of your glasses of water will be on the house. And I'm like, ma'am, you
All
can
you're
say it,
doing-
it's okay.
he was hitting the grape juice real hard that
Yeah.
Yeah.
night. Also, like, Luke and Espella are awake off screen listening to this. They're just like, wow, Phoenix has a lot. They're going through a lot right now. Meanwhile, Luke is like still low-key traumatized from Gold Layton, and Espella just almost fucking met her end at the fire.
Mhm.
Right.
They're just listening. They're like, man, someone might butcher this guy's character arc later and turn him into an alcoholic. Let's see.
Jeez.
Still, listen, grape juice.
Grape
Whatever you want to
juice.
call it.
They escape because they leave the tavern in the morning to go, like, we have to go investigate because we got 2 days till the parade or whatever. Or, like, today. I don't know when the parade was anymore because it just, like, kind of happened and I don't remember when.
We missed the
It
parade.
was it was the same day then, because when they come back, then it's already happened, and just the end of the parade is happening basically.
Yeah. I think it's really funny that, like, the second Phoenix Wright and Luke leave the tavern, there's a bombing. Like, there's an explosion. And they go, oh, hey, that's Kira. We should follow her.
For
Oh, no, they don't
reason.
follow her.
They try to track her into like an alleyway or whatever, but she's just like, no, you can't see me. You're not allowed to see me. And they're like, what?
What does that mean? They set up the artifice that bells are magical somehow, because she drops this little bell with a symbol on it, like a rune,
Mhm.
and like she like snatches it back and runs away. And I guess bells are involved in this now.
I mean,
really
there's the bell tower, which seemed to freak everybody out, but we also completely forgot about that for a while.
they really did not bring that up for a while.
They
So
just
they-
expect you to remember.
They investigate the
Okay,
courthouse because they're like, we have to go see the fire because it's not real. And Luke says, yeah, the reason I was able to escape the courthouse through the panel in the wall is because a mouse told me. And now he's going back in, I guess.
Yeah, there's just one line about
Oh,
that,
Eve,
right?
Eve told him.
What? Oh, Eve?
Yeah, Eve the cat tells him.
Oh. They
And
sneak.
then they do. Left this out of the summary, but they do also bump into Jean in the prison cell while they're going through there.
Mhm.
Confirm Jean alive.
Yep, she's just in
I
a
was-
prison cell,
I
and
was
she's
worried
like,
about that.
She's like, I'll scream for help if you'd like me to, so I can distract the guards for you.
Honestly, at this point, I know I said, like, yeah, I wouldn't have killed myself for you, Gene, but, like, you can also join the party, whatever. She can join the party, who gives a shit? Fucking, Maya's dead, we can do whatever we want. So they investigate the fire pit. The fire pit, with no fire in it, is just a hole into the fucking ground, and there's, like, a wagon at the bottom of it.
Yep.
And you have to do a puzzle to get into the wagon, because there's not enough space. And
Nobody
then...
ever looked down
Also,
this
like,
pit. Ever.
The cage doesn't move on its own when you throw the lever. Somebody has to be in it.
Yes.
So Luke's like, I'll volunteer
Oh my
to be
God,
in it.
That was the most distressing little, like, a lot of Luke endangerment in this segment. There's, like, multiple puzzles where, like,
Luke
little chibi
endangerment.
puzzle Luke is, like, being chased by a monster or, like, is in the Iron Maiden, like, doing, like, his distress animation. I'm like, what the
He just
fuck?
lost the professor. He's got nothing to live for.
I guess you're right. So much of it is just like, and now Luke is in danger again.
Luke,
Right.
Luke does get in danger multiple times. It's wild because what happens is we get into the wagon and, like, an old person is driving the wagon. They go, oh, more cargo than I remember. And then we cut to Maya running in the woods from these shades. Layton shows up out of nowhere and, like, fends them off using something. I don't know what. What's
Stick.
Yeah,
He had a
got a
stick.
cool stick.
He did find a cool stick in the middle of the woods, and he said, this is a
Yeah.
sword now.
The reason why Maya was running for so long was because Layton had to go out into the woods and find a really good looking stick. It's like when you're on a hike and you find the
You gotta
perfect
find
walking
the
stick.
stick.
This is
Yeah,
all,
the
perfect
this is all
walking
reasonable.
stick. And Layton was like, "Oh, finally, I found the perfect stick that I can use as a, of essentially a fencing weapon." And
Now I can-
now he's like, "Now I can rescue Maya." Then he runs over.
I would now rescue my fair lady, Maya. Maya and Layton go through this little puzzle where you have to, like, escape the shades, and I was like, alright, whatever. So, here's my thing. This is a Layton criticism. In the earlier Layton games, a lot of the puzzles are just, like, random puzzles that have nothing to do with the plot, but later on, they become, like, help Luke and Layton do blank or some shit like that. So I'm
Right.
glad
Puzzle.
that, like, this game has a lot of the, like, Luke and Layton have to solve a puzzle that's actually fucking relevant to the plot, and if we don't do it, we're stuck here. So, like,
Yeah.
let's escape the shades and stuff like that. So, good. Thank God.
Give it a little bit of artifice that makes it like fit with the theme of what's happening in the moment-to-moment story.
Exactamundo. We investigate these shades. So, like, we dodge the shades, and then the witch comes up and goes, hey, listen, are you investigating? And they go, yeah. I was like, oh, sweet, cool, keep going. I'm not gonna stop you. And the shades
Yeah.
are like, wait, what? And she's like, yeah, don't stop them. Let them do it.
Yeah, let them walk around. And the shades are all like, okay.
Okay.
They're like the food inspectors.
What do you oh, you think a professor and Maya are like the food inspectors? I
They're
thought
the
you meant the
inspectors.
witches were for a second. I was like,
No.
what the fuck are you talking?
She said let the food inspectors come in instead of murdering them with horrible food.
Every shade in this village is extremely thirsty for the Great Witch. We can all agree about that, right?
I guess.
She's also got that kind of like gestury clown coded thing going on with her outfit, so I'm not super into it. But
But we can like
they are.
they are.
They
They're all like
are.
they literally every shade is like, oh, we
I
do
mean,
anything.
she saved them, quote unquote, from dying and is going to let them go back to the village, which is what they really badly want to do.
Hey everybody, has anyone ever gone back to the village? Ever? Let me know.
Don't know.
Here's my thing, is that, like, if they did go back to the village, there's a solid chance they won't remember their time as a shade, right? So here's what I think.
Oh my
like,
God,
this
are
is
all
what...
these puppos being constantly recycled in and out? Jesus.
Exactly! Like, they already have, like, modify memory, because we used it on fucking Phoenix Wright and Maya, so, like, there's a solid chance that, like, we have witch trials all the time, but the witches die and then just come back as new characters. We're just recycling the actors for this fucking stage of Labyrinthia.
Oh my God, it's like in that one Jackbox game where you get voted out of the house, and you're like, man, what the fuck? why did this end so soon? And then your character literally walks in the door with like a slightly scrambled name. It is Jackbox is alright.
That's why I think that little kid Peter is so close to breaking the algorithm, is because he's been recycled so many times that he can see the truth. He's that little
yeah, he's the one who is like just touching the edge of the Matrix.
He's Neo. We investigate the Shades village, and then we have to go to their house after solving some puzzles because the bridge was broken. And like, huge lore dump here. They're making a lot of potions in this.
Yeah.
They're making a lot of potions, right? Is this
we help them make potions?
We literally help them make a potion.
Oh.
Is this the modified memory potion? Like, if I drink this in, will I just forget and think that I'm Muppet?
Bagor?
Oh,
What?
Potion
Yeah.
turns you into Muppet.
Yeah,
Muppet TF potion.
Muppification?
Muppification.
Oh my goodness.
Oh no, it's horrifying. Terrifying.
Honestly, what's crazy is that if Phoenix and Maya were here longer, they would become Muppets.
That's yeah. Well,
You
it's
think
like
it's just like in the air? It's just like a slow process kind of thing.
I think
the longer you're here.
I think the more you're recycled, the more you become a Muppet.
Sure.
Fuck it. We can just make whatever lore we want. Or
So,
you
like,
just
all
say
the-
You slowly lose your humanity.
So all the Fire Emblem characters are like haven't inhaled enough of the Muppet gas yet. That's why they still
Exactly.
look like
Yes.
human.
we're
But
sort
that
of just a
That conflicts with my theory that
there's a ruling class.
that Zack and Roger are siblings, and
Maybe
Ah.
they're not actually siblings, but she's been here a little longer, right?
oh
you can-
yeah,
She's midway through the
yeah, they got both of them.
I'm just imagining-
Because he's a prosecutor, you know. He hasn't been recycled as many times. She's a woman. She probably got whipped once or
You're
twice.
so right, Ben.
You're right, yeah.
You're so right, Ben.
Oh.
I just had the mental image of Jeff Goldblum going to the transporter in The Fly and coming out a Muppet.
A Muppet version of the Fly.
Of The Fly. Yeah, a Muppet version of The Fly.
Of the monster version.
Alright, so like, yeah, this is definitely where they're making the modified memory post. And Barnum's here because he followed Darklaw here.
He just like left. How did he get out?
He went through the hole too. I don't know.
Okay, whatever.
We're not supposed to
He
know.
went through the whole
Yeah,
thing.
it's a little unclear here. This seems to be in the forest, way on the outskirts of the town, but still within the wall? Question mark.
No, it's objectively outside the wall because when they do the river scene when you're making the bridge, you can analyze the wall outside in the sky.
Oh, right.
And
Yeah,
it
you're
literally
right, you're
says,
right.
yeah, like, oh, that's the wall of Labyrinthia. But everyone said that
Uh-huh.
there's nothing outside of Labyrinthia, so why is there a forest called... We forgot the name of this fucking place.
And
The
on all the
Eldritch
shades-
Woods.
The shades all go like, well, this is the forest outside of Labyrinthia, but outside of the forest, there's nothing. And I'm like,
I'm beginning to think that you guys think
World
that
is
this-
flat.
The-
where are we? Where is this film set located? Probably like where has
It's
the
just a
most
flat
space?
earther village.
Like somewhere
It-
in Russia, right? Like huge.
Ireland.
No,
Sorry.
No.
no.
Sorry.
Tiago's been bullying me with
The only thing that
Ireland all
British
day.
people are truly afraid of is getting deported to Ireland.
Jesus Christ.
Making it sound
li-
like it's a bad thing.
You guys say that like it's a bad alright. Forgetting
So we have this like
Yeah.
brief, like 2-second. It's not even like an actual thing, but it's like a brief 2-second. Barnum, did you kill the Great Witch? And it's like, no.
Kinda wish he did.
And we're kind of over it, like in
She
in
hit
a
him over
moment.
the head with a fire extinguisher. He passed out.
And instead, it's just
That's
like
what
all
the
the
potion does. You drink it and suddenly you get hit in the head with a fire extinguisher.
Oh my god, if you looked any further in that potion room, what you would have seen is just a bunch of fire extinguishers getting melted down and liquefied into this potion. That's what's been going on.
Oh, I was
the
thinking
whole
you were going to
time.
say a bunch of fire extinguishers that were all dented up in the back.
But yeah, so there's a whole bunch of quote unquote blood on the ground, and it is just one of the potions that's been spilled.
Oh, I thought it was tomato
And-
juice.
Yeah,
And
all of the
Barnum's
the
like, I didn't kill her.
characters
And everybody's like, okay.
just immediately go, oh, it's not blood. I'm like, oh, okay,
Oh, thank
you.
God.
We have forensics in here. The Shades go, Barnum, give us back our witch, our great witch. We need her so badly. We're all extremely thirsty. And, like, honestly, like, I do respect the hustle. Like, yeah, we all follow a queen here, but also, like, I'm not trying to get fucking mind wiped here. I got shit to do. You find a secret entrance at the back of the room, and that leads to, like, the ruins. What the fuck are these ruins? What was there ever like a
You
start
start playing Breath of the Wild. You find one of those dungeons.
It's Tears
Yeah.
of, it's,
Well, what's going to happen is as Layton and Maya get further and further into this like underground ruins, as they like get to the back end of it, and I'm recycling a joke from the stream, but as they get to the back end of it, they walk out and like you start hearing like the line cue music from the Indiana Jones adventure in Disneyland, and they just do realize that you're walking out of like a big theme park ride. They're like, oh, weird.
that would have been sick, actually. Yeah. Like, it's crazy because Layton and Maya have like this whole speech of like, we gotta investigate for our friends Phoenix, Wright, and Luke. I know they're trying their best very hard. Meanwhile, they're like stuck in the back of a fucking cargo van, like getting delivered. They get fucking Luke and Phoenix and Espella. I keep forgetting Espella exists. Does everyone else keep forgetting about Espella?
No.
I mean,
No?
she's not
No.
super memorable.
She has like
She doesn't have a ton of character development, to be completely honest with you, right?
No.
You know,
Yeah.
it's
she's
kind of
just a plot pivot.
yeah, which is a
character.
little sad.
She's got her whole father is the storyteller thing, like that's like her kind of her main bit, and
We haven't really explored that at all.
right, and she's got like
She's just there for bad things
witch
to happen to her.
stuff going on with her. Is she the Great Witch? She kind of seems to think she is, but is she, or is she just doing that to protect everybody?
that's the potion taking over. Honestly, I think
You
that,
leave it, especially at the end here. Obviously, it's very clear that that's when
And all the
she's
characters
just in a trance.
keep going like, "Oh, I'm smelling this smell that's really familiar," and I'm like, "When has there been a smell ever mentioned before?
It's
like,
when
Can we think of it?"
it's when they opened up the book back in London. The book was laced like with anthrax or something, and then
The
they got
book
knocked
smelled-
out.
Anthrax.
Was
dead,
it-
dead in minutes.
Did that happen? Did the book have a smell that was commented on?
So here's the thing. No.
No, I mean, they started commenting on the smell being familiar once they encounter it in the potion room,
Yeah.
which to me at least would make sense because theoretically it's like awakening like a hidden memory of if they have all taken this potion kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Now they are like, oh, I've smelt this once before. What is this strange smell? I'm smelling it here, but since they've had their memories wiped, they don't remember it? Question mark. I'm
Yeah.
I'm kind of talking around things, right? But
We've also very much glossed over the fact that like Professor Layton just got better.
No, he never.
But
He
that's
never.
that's what the game does. So
I mean, yeah, he explicitly says that like he was in the room, he basically everything went black. He got knocked out or something, and now he is just here. And he woke up here.
somebody
He's
tossed him out in the woods.
So, I mean, if we are following the same conceit of the trapdoor being an artifice, and a trick, then presumably what happened is Layton got knocked out and somebody placed a gold statue of Layton right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did it so fast. He went through the floor like a stage door.
Exactly. And Maya just wasn't paying attention. She was thinking about burgers.
Maya was too busy huffing the paint and thinking about burgers. Or huffing the potion or whatever. I have to assume that at this point the potion is just like in the water, right? Like, it's the best way to dose an entire city is to put the poison in the well. So yeah, like Layton's, but he honestly.
Makes you think of the story of like the fucking weird code guy that you were talking about yesterday.
What the?
We can't talk about the COVID cryptid.
What the fuck are y'all talking about?
What am
All
I
right,
being
well, now
introduced to?
Since it's come up, there's a person in Ohio who has an entirely unique strain of COVID.
No.
It is so
All to
unique.
himself.
It is so unique that they can track it through his wastewater. So
Holy
there's
shit.
two sewer systems, one where presumably he works and one where presumably he lives, because he goes to work and then he comes back home.
Yeah.
They can see, oh, this COVID strain only shows up in these two sewage systems. So he's one of these like 30 to 40,000 people in these two different towns, right? And we don't know where this guy is, and it's not spreading. Nobody else is getting it, so it's a dormant strain. He's not contagious or anything, so it's safe essentially, right? But they're like, what the hell? We're trying to track down this one random dude. By the time this comes out, they might have even solved it because of, and found this guy. But yeah, it's been very funny to imagine being a man who's walking around out there blissfully unaware that people are tracking you through your
wastewater. This is
your waste.
This poor guy.
This guy is literally the victim of a government conspiracy. And but like it's real.
So what you're saying, Dessy, is that they're tracking, so they're using these potions to track people somehow through the well water.
Yeah.
I love it. I'll incorporate that into my worldview.
This is important knowledge that I will record in my memory.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Tiago will remember that.
What the fuck were we talking before this?
We were talking
it's
about
all
how
potions.
Professor Layton got better, so he's probably never a hyper detailed gold statue.
And by hyper
Probably
detail,
just
you mean like a gold Lego figure?
Yeah, they just got the Lego figure.
Do you think it's made out of real gold?
No. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Real gold's very heavy, and they were moving that around really easily.
Yeah, and also he didn't get dented when he fell.
So like,
his arm snapped off.
I'm just
he
thinking,
wasn't. He was tempered too long.
When this is
gold bends, it doesn't usually it's super
soft
soft
like that.
What I'm saying is that like when this is all over, do you think Layton's gonna take home the statue?
It's a souvenir.
It's a souvenir, man. Free gold statue. Are you kidding me?
You have been doing a horrible experiment in this town, but as recompense, I will take my gold statue. Thank you very much.
A gentleman never says no to a gift. So like they're investigating, and then we finally get like they're going into the ruins, and then Phoenix, Maya, and Luke somehow also just beeline it straight to the ruins. They like see the house in the distance. They go, "Let's go investigate that." They investigate it, and they see the bloody room in the back, and they're like, "There's a hole here. Let's go in here." And it's kind of wild that they're just doing the same steps that Layton and Maya are, but like later. And then
I mean, we have all those menus and rooms and for them to walk through, and you already did them as Layton and Maya, so why make you do stuff again there? It does feel like they're just kind of rushing to get everybody reunited, because they're like, okay, we kind of got to move forward towards the climax. We've had everybody separate for long enough here now. Let's get them back together. So it felt a little like a hurried up kind of maneuver, but it was fine, right? It's what we want to see are the interactions between these characters anyway. And so we got our fun little pairing of Luke and Phoenix for a bit, and we got our pairing of Layton and Maya for a bit. And now we got to put them all back together, and then there's 3 puzzles that you have to do as you go through these ruins, 3 trials.
Wait, before going any further, I got
okay, sure. Go ahead.
Let's do 2 things. One, when we were Layton and Maya, it was so fucking funny that every time you poke on something, Maya's like, "Oh, this is pretty cool. We should take it." And Layton's like, "Maya, please don't pick that up." Like literally,
Maya's gremlin energy, and Layton's just like, Now, Maya.
Now, Maya. It's not the proper.
Must be polite about these ruins and not damage ancient historical artifacts.
But she's like, Maya's actively in the potion room, being like, "Wow, check it out, Layton." And Layton's like, "Don't drink that." Like, like so fucking.
Also, there's one bit in which Maya says, "I'm the best spirit medium ever," and Layton responds with ...
She has never mentioned this up until now.
And it's just like he's like, "I don't believe you, but I'm gonna let you say whatever the fuck you want to say, but I do not believe you."
She's 17. Let her say whatever.
She's like 19 at this point.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I don't know where we are in the timeline. I'm gonna be honest.
It's nebulous. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's nebulous. The point being is that because Maya goes to "I'm the adult here," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I guess you're in fucking with spirit college now or whatever." it's so fucking funny to me that like Maya's like, I want to steal it, and Layton's like, no. He doesn't. He doesn't have to deal with this shit from Luke because Luke is such a nice little good boy. Like fucking. Meanwhile, Phoenix is with Luke, and like Phoenix is like, wow, Luke is more mature than I am. And then Luke... and Luke's like, I am more mature than you.
I'm rather fond of Luke. I'm seeing the I'm definitely seeing the appeal. Professor Layton is still like nothing. He is just like a puzzle solving robot. But Luke's fun. Like Luke.
Luke is legit like the personality of the two, like Professor and Luke. Like them together make a team that's like worth playing as a protagonist, but like without each other. Like Layton only works with another person, right? Like Layton only can be an interesting character if he has someone else to bounce off of. Because he's always the straight guy in the comedy group, but without him, he's just a straight guy, and no one wants to see that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's just a guy like standing around on the stage.
Yeah, that's just a guy.
Anything.
It doesn't do anything. Like the other characters are what supply the wackiness, and he's like a good he's like a trampoline. It's good to bounce off of him. Anyway, yeah, they have a very heartfelt reunion. Did you guys cry?
No.
Okay, that's a no from Death. Rose?
No.
Alright, that's a no from Rose. Ben?
I'm sorry, Tiago. No, I did not.
Okay, so
it's very sweet, but
I also did not cry.
Oh, okay. All right.
I wish they would have
so
had...
not all dry faces.
I was hoping for like a little custom hug animation or something.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. Like a little 2D graphic of them just like being happy to see each other.
Yeah, that would have been nice. I would have liked
Phoenix,
that.
Spella, and Luke are like, I can even hear their voice right now. And they go, wait, I can actually hear their voice right now.
I mean, that bit's great.
Yeah, that made me
like...
laugh. I got a chuckle for that.
And then they immediately team up again, and they all go on to investigate the ruins where there's 3 ruinous puzzles, and they're like written by like the former civilization here, who goes like, if you go deeper in, you'll find a cursed thing that we locked away. And people are like, wow, is that the Great Witch Bazella? That's crazy.
And they just are like, let's go in, we're gonna do it, because of course. Also, like, Layton can just like read this, which is very funny.
He's an archaeologist.
Layton's like, I don't believe in curses. Let's go.
Yeah. But like, they get there and the item is gone. Somebody already did all of it, so like, it didn't matter.
Someone got the item, but then also reset all the puzzles on the way out. That's the most fucked thing about it.
I've absolutely done that. That's
what do
a
you
totally
mean?
if you
presumably
find some
the item
loot in say a dungeon, and you can't get it out as things are now because it's too heavy. You gotta set all the traps back up as you leave so no other stinking adventurers can get in there and take your shit. You found it first. Anyways.
What? Yeah. What did you mean by you did this? You can't just kick. You can't just give me a don't worry about it.
I mean, I pretty much explained what happened, huh?
Rose has been secretly doing like Indiana Jones style adventurers this whole time, and we have not been aware.
Yep.
Holy shit.
It's only fair you did play through a bunch of Layton games.
Mm-hmm.
What? Wait, my training is that I played the Professor Layton games. Her training is that she became a ruin thief?
Archaeologist.
Archaeologist?
A Tomb Raider?
What's the difference?
Oh, so she gets to become a badass Tomb Raider. Meanwhile, I know math now. That's...
Well, let me tell you what, dear listeners, I still do not know math.
So like, yeah, true. Rose?
Wow.
Rose? No, it's because Rose told me about the sphere grid puzzle. It's because Rose told me about the sphere grid puzzle.
I did. I said Tiago was finishing the case up, and I was like, yeah, this puzzle, I just looked at it and just said no and didn't do it. You'll know when you get to it.
Meanwhile, I saw the puzzle and goes, oh, I know exactly what I must do, and then went on to do it.
Where I just went, nope, no thanks.
Oh, we'll get there later. That's later, but like, we got. I feel really mean now.
We do this. We do the seals, right?
Math. It's fine.
we do these seals, and like the way they lay them out is like you do one with the group, and then you do one with Luke and Maya doing it. They kind of do the puzzle, quote unquote, together, and then the last one, then you do it with Phoenix and Layton. I guess I skipped over this, but like the door that they do right before this. Tell me if I'm missing anything, but you have to mess with this door and kind of intentionally just fiddle with it and not complete it for a while before Phoenix finally goes,
Yeah.
I got it. I'm going to turn this about in my mind.
Yeah.
And then allows you to rotate things properly so that you can actually do the puzzle.
That was frustrating because I was trying to do that already. I was like, why isn't it going the way I want it to? Like,
Right.
surely I have to keep rotating this around until it fits. And the game was just like,
There's a higher level to this puzzle that we are not able to access until we exhaust all possible options. And then
it unlocks it.
It gives you a prompt to say, like, oh, the key is in the key itself. We must edit the key in order to fit into the keyhole. And it's like, give me the option to do that from the fucking beginning, my guy. Like, don't make me.
It's like I knew what I needed to do.
But like, I didn't. So like, obviously the key was in the key as itself, right? Like, but like, it doesn't give you that idea until you play the puzzle it wants you to play, and that's kind of frustrating, right? Because like, we can't progress until a piece of information is available to us that was not available to us until we jiggle around this fucking stupid ass key.
Yeah, the game makes you fail when you don't need to, because if you've played Phoenix Wright games, you know you need to rotate that evidence around a whole bunch.
But once you rotated it, that's still not a solution. You have to break up the key and like form it into the whole, and it's like,
but you can't do that until the characters say, okay, now you can do it.
Exactly. That's I low-key did not like that. The other puzzles afterwards were whatever. They were fine puzzles.
So you get through all these puzzles and you get to an altar where presumably the Bell of Ruin was, but now it's gone. And
wow, where could it possibly be?
Yep. And so Layton reads all the inscriptions, and then Espella has her dramatic flashback, and she sees like this giant fiery dragon lighting the town on fire, and she sees herself as a kid, and then she goes back into trance mode and goes, I'm Bazella, and runs away. So, just books it out of there.
Is that a planted memory? I feel like it's a planted memory. I don't know. Maybe she did accidentally cause the burning down of the village, but like it wasn't magic. It was just a fucking accident.
Also, like, just because you saw, you have a memory of a traumatic event from your childhood doesn't mean that you did it. Like,
exactly.
Damn.
Like the witch is like making this notion.
If I had a nickel for every time that happened, I'd have 2 nickels.
True. I hope Emma Sky's okay right now. She's somewhere in England, right?
Oh right, I'd have 3 nickels.
She's puppetified. She's in England.
Oh no!
Wait, you think she's going to become a puppet?
I don't know. Maybe. What are they releasing the puppet gas? Like,
yeah. The overall plot is to release the Muppet gene into the London water.
You have to save all
it's
of
like
it.
some Mission Impossible like tier villain plot.
So like, I firmly believe something right now, and that is the fact that whatever happened with Espella's youth is that she is not directly responsible for the burn, or like intentionally responsible for the burning of this village. Is it possible she did it by accident? Yes. Did she do it because she's an evil witch? Probably not, right? Like, that just seems outrageous.
But in this universe, accidents, it doesn't matter.
Accidental murder is still murder.
That's only in Japanifornia law. This is England law.
England law would be like worse though.
That's true.
They just burn you for being a woman.
I hope all our English and British listeners, etc., are having a good day. Sorry about this. I don't know how many of you there are exactly, but
I
sorry
hope
for
y'all are.
Duncan.
Hey, drink some water. If you're British, drink some water right now. Take care of yourself.
Drink your tea.
Shut up! I'm trying so hard not to say that.
Okay,
So everybody goes
have
back to
something right now.
Labyrinthia trying to chase after Espella.
Yeah.
And they can't find her. She's nowhere to be seen. And they bumble into the kind of park area surrounding the bell tower, and that is where they see the storyteller already. Like the whole crowd is gathered there. The storyteller's already like, and so things are about to end. I'm about to be burned alive by the great witch Bazella.
He's definitely
And
fine, right?
No, I think he's dead.
Espella casts a fire dragon 5th level spell, and
It's like something worm or whatever.
and
She summons a Yu-Gi-Oh
Grand Worm.
monster.
Yeah, she says Grand Worm,
She
and
does
then this giant
monster.
comes down and burns the storyteller alive, and him and his cart are disappeared.
Here's the thing. Right before we go to the town square, they reach out to the end of where the parade would have ended. They get a little note from the story being like, there's going to be I will die and the witch will kill me, and then this will happen when twilight turns to dusk, and then we're gonna have a trial overnight, and then by the new dawn, Labyrinthia will be changed forever, and all of its citizens will bask in the glow of a new day. And that's like a sum of the story or whatever. So like basically it's setting up the fact that like storyteller's gonna get killed at midnight, we're gonna do court overnight, new whatever fucking happens, new day means that we're wrapping this shit up by dawn, alright? Fucking Muppet Labyrinthia is over at dawn.
They're
So
releasing them back into the wild with the knowledge they have.
True. The knowledge of sin and evil.
Yeah, we've tagged all the Muppets and can release them back in the wild and now track.
We also tagged
their migration patterns.
So, they try to prevent the storyteller from dying. They all did a really shit job at it. I simply would just not have let the storyteller be here, but like whatever, he's clearly wants to die.
I mean, you can't argue with him. He's like the God King.
If I hit him on the back of the head with the fire extinguisher and just drag him over to like the forest, he'll be fine.
Give him a taste of his own medicine. Yeah.
Give him a taste of his own fucking medicine. So here's
Muppify him, Captain.
There's like a part you investigate the bell tower after the sequence, but I just want to notice in the animation at this time wasn't Espella in the same room as the bell from the animation? Did I misremember that? Because like
she's like right up there on the little room at the open portion of the bell tower, but I'm trying to remember here that I don't think the visuals make it super clear whether the bell is like right above her, or anything like that. Presumably it would be because it's the bell tower.
Yeah.
But yes, it's not visually clear there. I don't think at the moment.
The reason I bring this up is because when you encounter a map of the bell tower, there's essentially 3 levels to the bell tower. The first one is ground level. The second one is the room where you find Espella. And the third level is the bell. But apparently the third level is not accessible. Like,
okay, so it's right above.
It's right above, yeah.
Sure.
That's why I brought this up. It's, law. Anyway, Espella summons a Yu-Gi-Oh monster and kills the storyteller. A figure summons the Yu-Gi-Oh monster and kills the storyteller. We see no corpse for the storyteller, which makes me believe he's probably alive, chilling in the somewhere else. Conspiracy. Like, listen, no corpse means they're alive, right? Like, that's how all fantasy works. All stories work.
Yeah.
We have a vigilantes now in the city. We just have vigilantes now. We've never discussed vigilantes, but vigilantes exist, and they're people who dress up like the knights. Did y'all know about this?
Nope. It's the first time I've seen them.
Okay, sweet. Sounds good. New guys. New goons.
New kind of guy.
There's a new enemy type. And they're vigilantes. We go to the second level of the bell tower. Espella's there, knocked out with a funny necklace around her neck, where she summoned the evil-ass Yu-Gi-Oh monster from. Vigilantes take them, and then it like Phoenix and Professor Layton are like go back out of the bell tower, but there's like a weird scene where like they get locked in by the Vigilantes because they're incompetent. And this was just to have an artifice so that like Darklaw and Zacharias Barnum can have their confrontation outside the bell tower, but not have the main characters be there. And
Yeah.
this was strange. Zacharias is like, I followed you through the woods and saw that you had a weird sex cult. And she goes, but prove it, though. And he goes, darn it.
The burden of proof is on you.
The burden of proof is on you. And then she goes, I will now be the Inquisitor because I'm the High Inquisitor and the Storyteller's dead. I'm basically in charge of the whole city now. Zacharias, you're arrested for treason. He gets arrested, but not before his little doggy hears this entire conversation. And she also says, like, and you know why you suck, Zach? Because you investigate the final room in his house. If you did that, if you had conviction, if you had the fucking stones, you would have done that, Zach, but you suck. Meanwhile, the dog hears all this and goes,
Oh, the dog's like, I can do that.
I can do that. And then, like,
Yeah.
Zacharias gets arrested, and then Professor Layton and Phoenix are like, we should split up and investigate. And Professor Layton's like, I know where to go. And then a little doggy shows up and tells Luke, hey, you should investigate the final boss room. And and Professor Layton goes, perfect, that's where I was gonna go anyway. And I was like, okay, how did you know that, man? Like, come on.
He's just so much better and smarter than all of us.
It's 'cause-
I mean, also, if you think about it, like, you think, well, I'll go to the storyteller's room because I bet he's got some notes about what he did in this town somewhere. He was the
True.
storyteller. His thing was writing.
Yeah.
I bet he's got a journal.
He's got a huge ass journal with all his notes in it. And then
Yeah.
Phoenix,
He's got all his world building docs up there.
his whole D&D campaign is locked up there. We can know who
He's
the
got a
final
big
boss
book that just says lore
oh my
on it.
goodness.
Oh my, we
You
gotta
open
get
it
it.
and it's just truly the worst bullet journaling experience you've ever seen.
It's a collection of like puzzles and stolen from the back of cereal boxes that he
Yeah,
placed
it's
all
like-
around town.
That one post where it's like Googling like good puzzles for 3-year-olds
Exactly.
to prepare for my D&D campaign.
Oh, so Phoenix and Maya are like, we'll investigate the bell tower while you investigate the storyteller's house. Let's split up once again. And part of me is just like, I know you guys have to split up, but like, I'm really afraid that one of you is just gonna get turned into a frog or something.
Mhm.
In this section, we do the Phoenix and Maya part, where it's just like classic Phoenix Wright investigation. We click on shit, we get evidence, we haven't talked to anybody because these Muppets don't provide any knowledgeable information whatsoever.
We only get to do it for like literally a minute.
Literally,
It's one screen. Yeah.
it's one screen. But this was the closest we got to classic Ace Attorney, good old-fashioned clicking on shit and putting it in our pocket. We even try to do that with Bella's necklace, and the Vigilantes take it like they're assholes.
Right.
Fuck them. Fuck the Vigilantes. If you're... Never mind, I was gonna say something really mean. I feel really bad now.
All the vigilantes are like, seem to be like new recruits in some way, right? They
Yeah.
just seem to be like new, like, oh, we got a bunch of people from the town to help staff up real quick because we know shit's about to go down. But yeah, beyond that, they don't really expound on them very much.
Not really.
But yeah, so basically Phoenix and Maya, they try to grab Aspella's necklace. It's taken from them. It's confiscated. And the thing that they were trying to do with it right before it's confiscated is they see a really elaborate mechanism in the top of the bell tower with a little notch that her necklace would fit perfectly in. And Maya's like, ooh, I got to put it in there. I got to stick it in to see what happens.
She's
and
right, though.
that's when
Monkey
that's
brain.
when they come up and take it away from her. And so they go, well, I guess we did all the investigation we could. Time to go to court.
I have two notes here. One, this box looks like the Lament configuration from Hellraiser.
Yeah.
It looks like an evil ass box. Two, it just occurred to me that Maya would absolutely open the Lament configuration from Hellraiser. She would see a box and goes,
Oh my god.
"What do you mean? It summons some funny guys. Let's go!" And then open up the box.
Maya, no.
She'd be fine, though. She'd be fine.
She'd be
fine.
She'd be,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
She'd chill with the Cenobites. The Cenobites would be like, yo, what's good, Maya? And she's like, nothing much.
Let's go get burgers, fellas.
Let's go get burgers with Pinhead, Screecher, the other freaks. Okay, sorry. I just want to get
Yeah,
that.
no. I mean, you are correct. You are 100% correct.
I needed to get that bit out of me. Like, it was too quick. It sucks that our investigation phase is so short, but it was sweet and I did enjoy it. Also, Patty was there when the storyteller got burnt and saw that, like, it was a spell at the top of the tower. She ran up here and fought vigilantes with nothing but, like, some flour.
Yeah, Patty did puppet
True.
violence.
Patty...
Patty's great.
Patty's so close to developing class levels. She's so close.
Any second now. Surely she's got enough XP.
She'll be a barbarian.
If
Breadbarian.
you develop class levels, is that what turns you into an anime person?
If you develop class levels,
That's why Rouge's half anime, half puppet, because she's about to level up.
Oh,
Yep.
she's about to become a rogue swashbuckler.
I'm just making this shit up at this point. I'm trying to see what else I can come up with to explain why it is like this.
Honestly, if I do run a D&D campaign, I'm going to make it so that all the people who have class levels are anime people, and if you like meet a peasant, that's like a Muppet. It's just how the world should be built from now on.
I mean, that's apparently what this whole game is.
Yes,
Muppet,
true.
Muppet
This
Railgun.
is that their fucked up tabletop campaign is Labyrinthia.
It is really just kind of like a fucked up tabletop campaign.
We can solve this with the Muppet Railgun.
Muppet
We can make it happen.
Oh my god.
This is how they get evidence to the courtroom really fast.
Oh
This
my
is how
God.
Gumshoe got all that evidence there.
The
At the
railgun?
last second when you needed it was through the NPC railgun.
Hey, you know what, dear
Grabbing
listener?
evidence from someone else is a free action.
Dear listener, if you don't know what we're talking about, look up D&D railgun. You'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For this really, like, niche bit that we've developed.
It's a
I mean, it's pretty well known at this
Yeah,
point, I feel
it's
like, if
pretty
you're
famous
in the
bit.
D&D community, but yeah,
Tell me, the people
they
who
patched
listen to
it
the
out.
They patched it out,
it's true.
Well, it doesn't actually work.
but it should.
It's funny, though.
It's funny.
No,
It's funny.
No sane DM would let you do this.
I'm trying to get insane in the membrane.
So
So
Luke and Layton go to the storyteller's tower. They go to his secret lair. They open up the puzzle on the door. Constantine's there, and he leads them all the way there, all the way up to the front door. In which point, then he goes, "I've taken you as far as you can go, young travelers, but I must be away." And so he goes. Constantine just leaves after playing his same 2 bark sound bites for the last 10 minutes.
it's funny because right before you enter the gate to the storyteller's domain, or like the knight's whatever, Riddell, the NPC who keeps track of all the puzzles, is just there. I didn't notice her. I haven't talked to her this entire game because
Yeah,
like I
and
haven't.
she's like, "Do you want to do any puzzles, Professor?" And I'm like, "No."
No,
This is your last chance to do puzzles before you hit the final boss.
the final.
Are you sure
boss.
you don't want to do any puzzles?
And his response is simply, "No, I'm good. I'm good. I gotta solve
I
the
mean,
biggest mystery."
You could just do them, but
I
my
don't
response
But
was
yes,
no.
Yeah,
Gameplay wise, yeah, this is your last chance to do all those puzzles before you get locked into the final segment of the game.
it's just really funny that they like bring her to you this time. Like it's like, all right, you've avoided her this entire time, but you must confront the fact that you were forgotten puzzles.
You've
I
forgotten
intentionally
the puzzles.
skipped those puzzles. I'll have you know.
You go to the Knights Guard and they're like, "We don't know what to do because our boss is dead." And then you walk up to the Knights and the Knights are like, "Oh, are you investigating with the Royal Hound of the Armor, Constantine,
The dog.
the dog?" And they go, "Yeah." And they go, "Oh, sweet, go on in. We won't stop you."
Like that Zach's dog is just like a doofy little poodle with like people clothes on.
It's a toy poodle. Like it's
Yeah.
a toy poodle with
It's
a fucking
great.
helmet on.
It is somewhere
super
there
cute.
is like a dog groomer in this weird town.
It's the I saw it from Case 1, Game 1. Remember
All
him?
right. Mm-hmm.
He became a dog groomer in prison.
Still,
It's
isn't
him.
he still in prison though?
They fucking extradited him to England. I'm making
He's
shit
the
up.
only dog groomer in the
Yeah.
entire world.
Yeah.
the only dog groomer in the entire world.
Well, this
so-
is Ace Attorney logic, so if one person does a profession, they will continue to appear doing that profession forever in every game, because they are the only person who does that.
That is true. So we get to this puzzle on the front of the storyteller's house, and like Layton is like, "Huh, interesting. Why would the storyteller have a puzzle on the front door that no one is allowed to access? Who is this puzzle meant for?" And this puzzle is this is the puzzle that like really got Rose. Rose, do you want to?
It didn't get me. Okay, so you walk up to this door and you open it up, and well, you don't open it up yet. To do the puzzle first. Up pops this menu where it's like, here's all these bubbles with numbers on them, and you need to arrange them in and out of these triangles so that all the triangles add up to. And I stopped reading and I opened Google. It looks like a Final Fantasy sphere grid is what it looks like. And I didn't do it. It wasn't happening.
Yeah, Ben did it, thankfully, but I stared at it. My brain went, no.
Do y'all not use the hint system? Because it literally tells you the answer in the hint system.
No.
Oh. I mean, I could have, but
I mean, what happens with the hint system is, yeah, you use the first hint and it gives you like a decent hint. Second hint is like, okay, we're almost telling you the answer. And then once you use the third hint, it's basically just like, do this.
Yeah.
I guess I could have done that, but instead I did that faster where I just looked up the answer.
Fair enough.
You saved on some picker
It looked like a Final Fantasy sphere grid, and I was like, I'm not. And there's numbers in it.
It's a math Final Fantasy sphere grid.
Yeah, and I
No, Kiaro.
yeah, it didn't look like I was gonna have a good time doing that, so I didn't.
You have to add up.
That's fine.
You have to add up all the sides so that equal 39, and then you have to make sure the inner triangles also add up to 39.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, this is definitely like a final puzzle. We're definitely entering final puzzle area of Layton games where it's like,
I'll try and remember the hints, but I was just like, well, not doing this.
yeah. And, I say this because I've been frantically collecting coins this entire time. I have like 100 hint coins.
Oh yeah, I have a lot of hint coins. I actually started
The
using
hint coins
them.
in the game for me were like the elixirs and the rare items in Pokemon where you collect them and you never use them because they don't sell them in the stores.
Yeah, I did
And then at
start
the end of the
using
game,
a
you get
couple.
1,000.
This is probably we're entering the phase of the game where we're just going to start blasting every hint coin in the game, right? Like we're going to use up our entire stock.
I mean, early on, I think you, the Professor Layton expert, advised like save them all up, and then once you get to like the final round, like just use them because it'll tell you the answer.
It will straight up give you the answer to a lot of the puzzles, especially the super hint, which costs 2 coins after the third hint. That just says like, all right, here's like 80% of the puzzle. You can do the last 20%. You got this, champ. And like that's what they say, and it's like, all right, sweet, thanks, man. I saw the sphere grid and I went, yeah, I'll just use a couple hidden coins, and then it got me really. I was like, all right, I get it. It's math. And then it sucks because this is where the chapter ends, right? Like, it ends right
That's
after
a cliffhanger.
Oh my god! But I just want to know the ending.
My Ace Attorney game?
Well, I have good news.
thought
Immediately after we're done recording here, you can start playing if you'd
My
like.
Layton
I
game?
thought I was gonna get at least like a scene, but instead it was just like, you're done, and I was like, wow, all right.
Fade to black.
Fade to black, and now we have to. Who knows what we'll do next chapter? Will we investigate as Professor Layton and Luke, or will we do a court case as Phoenix, Wright, and Maya? Really forgot his name for a second. I thought his name was the Ace Attorney for a little bit.
I think a little bit of column
That's
A, a
his
little bit of column
title.
B.
It's his title.
I think Professor Layton's gonna run in with some evidence and give it to us that will turn the case around part of the way through when we think we've lost. That's what I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? You
Really?
think that's gonna happen? That's ridiculous.
That's never happened before.
There's definitely going to be a scene where Layton solves the lament configuration upstairs, and wait, I'm actually thinking about what would happen if Professor Layton got the lament configuration.
Also, one thing to establish here that I don't think we mentioned is that they have said that this court case is going to be outside.
Oh yeah, this is an outdoor court case.
They're like, this is going to be outside right in front of the bell tower. And it's just like, okay.
The bell tower that if it rings destroys everything around it with massive tectonic implications.
Yeah.
Not that we know that that's where the bell is or anything.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I think that I think the reason we're having it outside is because now that we know that the witch pit in the courtroom is fake, there's no like fear in that one. But I genuinely think we're gonna see like Espella tied up to a wooden stake about to be burned.
Yeah.
Like outdoors, and that's kind of crazy.
Oh, like Joan of Arc style, yeah.
Yeah, like Joan of Arc style.
I think that would be a good prediction.
Do you have any prediction, Rose, for what's gonna happen next?
The storyteller is definitely still alive, so that's that on that. We're absolutely gonna arrest Darklaw because, you know, it's not a Phoenix Wright game unless you.
She's within the like 5 meter. What am I trying to say? She's within 5 meters of Phoenix Wright, so that means we can finally blame her for everything.
True.
Yeah, we can catch her. And you know, if she's
she wasn't close enough
now,
before, but now she's here.
Yeah, now that she's on the stand, jail.
Jail.
Just directly to jail.
I think that I can't even predict what is the point of Truman showing this entire village, right? Like, because like, that's the thing with like Layton games is like you kind of figure out like why everything is happening. Like you figure out what is happening around you, and then the answer to why is different, right? The why is always shown in the epilogue. It's like, why is this entire village filled with puppets who love puzzles? And it's like, oh, it's because, you know, I don't know, we're fucking aliens or something. So like, we all know what is happening here, which is they're all being Truman Showed. Their mind is being like fucking messed with to be little actors in a stage of Labyrinthia, but I still don't know the why yet, and I have no idea what it is.
Yeah, what is the point of the potion? You know, what does this serve purpose-wise?
That's what I'm most excited for y'all to discover.
Oh my god.
I hope it's dumb as hell.
I hope, honestly, it's probably dumb as hell. It's like, a lot of the Layton games at the very end, sometimes the reason is it's dumb as hell. But there's also sometimes where it's like, oh, this is actually baller as fuck. Everyone go play Unwound Future, I'm telling you right now. That's a good game. God, yes, that's my prediction, is that we'll figure out why the fuck this is all happening, because it's the final part of the fucking game. Phoenix Wright and Maya are going to open the lament configuration.
Okay.
That's why.
Well, I think that does it for
fine.
predictions.
Wait, Dess, do you know the ending?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay. All
I
right.
did watch the ending. Ben played the ending at one point when I was still awake, and I did watch the ending with him. And I was like, wow.
Was this like a
I'm
long
not gonna
time
say
ago?
more. Huh?
When was this?
Back when the game came out.
Ah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. I was
So
like,
it's been a while, but
it's been a while.
I hovered over top of him, resting my head uncomfortably some way to watch him play his DS.
Aw.
Yep, this was back in 2014.
Oh, jeez.
I swear to God, if there's a puzzle that involves using the mic in this game, I'm going to kill a real human being.
Why?
There's one Professor Layton game where there's a puzzle that requires the mic, but it never implied that you can use the mic during the game. So, like, you just have to figure it out. And I'm really afraid that there's a mic puzzle.
Seems like a poor choice on their part.
It did seem like a poor choice on their part, and I do agree about it being a poor choice on their part. Yeah.
All right.
I'm excited to see the end.
Well, we will bring it all to a close next time, then, in which we will be playing the last segment of this game, which is chapters 8, 9, and the epilogue. So, if you are playing along with us, feel free to dive in and experience this crazy final court case for yourself. You can follow the show and everything we do on Twitter at Ace Attorney Pod. co-host/ace attorney, or on our website, updatedautopsy.report, to stay up to date on the latest episodes, as well as the YouTube uploads of Dessy and I playing through the game, along with often in the rotating guest chair, our good friend Iro. So if you're not playing, you're welcome to watch those and see it for yourself. You can follow me on pretty much all social media at Yotsuben. Dessy, where can people find you?
Yes, this is Dess on Twitter.
And Tiago.
At Tiago S. Teacher on various social medias.
And Rose.
You can find me at Rose Nonsense on Tumblr and sometimes co-host.
Thank you so much for listening. We hope that you will rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. Every review really does mean a lot for us, and for like getting the algorithm on iTunes to share us with more people. So if you can do that, we really do greatly appreciate it. And we might read your review on the air if you do so. Next episode, we will be playing chapters 8, 9, and the epilogue of Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. And then that was the end of the chapter. So that's that on that, everybody. Oh no! My internet!
Did we just lose Rose?
Yeah.
I think we might have just lost Rose. Let's keep recording. Don't pause any recordings.
I'm not.
Hopefully she will keep her recording going as well.
Yeah.
But it's easier for me if we just keep recording.
No, I'm
until we get
gonna
back.
keep recording. I think this is funny. Yo,
Yeah. Then yeah. If this, maybe we put this at the end. But
hey, you know, I'm gonna call her on my phone.
yeah.
Yeah, why not? I have her phone number.
All right.
Rose, and I'm not gonna tell her last name out. To put on speakerphone or no?
It's funnier if you don't.
Okay. Hey, Rose. Your internet went out? Okay, sweet.